Greetings 7004, back again with part 3 of your article analysis video, instructional video. In this one, I'm going to show you how to do a quantitative analysis of an article. So certain articles are quantitative, which means they do kind of statistical studies and things like that. I'm going to show you how to analyze those types of articles so that you don't get kind of discouraged, and I'll show you how you can get discouraged in this one. But I'll make sure that you have it so that you can do this the right way. So I found this article here, Effective Instructional Time Use for School Leaders, Longitudinal Evidence from Observations of Principals. So let's open it up and see the abstract. Now, this is an article written in 2013, but I want you to keep this in mind. This is a longitudinal study, so they probably did this study over multiple years. So what we'll see in the abstract here is all this other studies have association between leadership behaviors and student achievement gains using unique data source, in-person full day observations of approximately 100 principals collected over 3 years. We find that principals spend time on instructional functions does not predict school achievement growth. So you look through all of these things and you start reading and say, all right, this may be something that we want to do. So they also did survey data. So we'll look through this and see if it's an article worth our time. So I'll click here on link to in full text, see if it comes up. Voila, it does. So let's now go through and save this article. We'll see it's an Educational Researcher, 42.8, 433 to 444. First thing I'll do is here and save this. All right, so got it here. And what we'll do is do the save. So save as. Grissom. If you get to reading a lot of school leadership articles, you're going to run across Jason Grissom. So after you get used to all of these things, you start realizing names and start that. Once you start realizing those names, you're starting to talk about like significant writers and contributors towards educational leadership. So Grissom, and I'll get a piece of the title, Effective Instructional Time Use. And the year was 2013. And it was, I believe, 44. Let me go back here. No. Go back here. Sure I got it right. 42.8. I believe it was 433 to 444. We hope, and if not, I'll correct it later. All right, so we have this here. Now, you've read the abstract, you determined that this is worth doing. Once again, skim through a lot of this to kind of understand where they're going. If they have certain words in italics, they're probably defining a word or showing its emphasis, so you may want to stop here and just understand it. You don't have to write it down, just understand it. You start seeing articles of people that they're reading. So I see Hollinger and Murphy. You start seeing those names. They're big names in school leadership. So you start taking those down in the back of your mind because you had to pull them later. So they talk that, set everything up. They talk about their data, how they collected their data, administrative data, interviews and surveys, methods. Now you have to get to reading. So you start reading through the methods, start seeing what they're trying to find. Because I know this article a little bit, and I know they use regression analysis, what you're going to be looking for is significance. So something's going to be statistically significant or not statistically significant. That's what you need to know. So you can read through this. Once again, you're not really taking notes, but you're understanding. They start giving you these tables. Somewhere along the line, results. So start giving you the results. You start reading through this and you can start taking those notes. So once again, let's go back here to our sample. So this would be your third article. So it'd be 3, the title, and 1, or category and 1. And that would be the actual reference there. 3, the category, and 2 would be where you start taking your notes. And it would start with those results there that you were reading. So we'll go back here to results, principles, instructional use of time, and begin to start looking at extracting information from here and making your points. And you get here, next one is instructional time use and school performance. That's another subsection. So you would actually go back here and once again have your section of your thing here, but then your section title, and then start putting points inside of there. And once again, keep going. Now, all these tables here, if you love math and you love reading tables and graphs, have at it. They're going to explain it in the discussion. So you read through this, you go to another subsection, investigative walkthroughs and coaching. So you have these, information that comes from that. You'll start getting, once again, more tables, more descriptions. Here is the crux of where you want to be. For a study like this, discussion and conclusions are going to give you everything you need. So this is where you'll begin to get the majority of your points. So you start reading this and pulling out points and making your points on your sheet, on your analysis, in your own words. The reason why I tell you not to get caught up in a lot of this stuff is because you'll start reading pieces of this, and it's only going to get like nerve-wracking because you haven't had statistics yet. So until you can look at this and tell me what all this means, I suggest you skip past that and get to what they mean, which is going to be in their discussion and conclusions. You'll be able to get useful information out of here, but the real meaning and a lot of your majority of your notes are going to come from the actual discussion and conclusion part here. And it's not very long. So it starts here, goes here, skip this, goes here, back up here, and then they're done. So you have that little bit of space to get as many notes as you possibly can out of this study. And once again, you start looking for whether something was statistically significant or not. And that doesn't mean it's bad or good. You just need to find that out. And then you make your meanings from that, and then you're done. Those are the essential 3 types of articles that you're probably going to run across as you do an article analysis in this particular course. As you see, it's easy to pull them up. It's easy to find them and extract them and get what you need. The hard part is going to be the reading, but you have to read with a purpose. Don't read for the love of reading. Read with a purpose, and your purpose is to go in and get out the information you need that will provide you information about this particular topic. With that said, you have everything you need to grow with this and do it. And if you look at your syllabus, you do not have a lot of time. You have to get 10 done at a minimum. So you have to be vigilant about doing this. So I would say once the semester begins, start doing 1 a day. It takes you about, in all honesty, you can go and collect all of your articles at any time and just save them. But when you get down to reading and analyzing them, it takes about 30 to 45 minutes once you get good at it. The first one is probably going to take you about an hour. After that, once you get to speed and understand what you're doing, there'll probably be able to be about 30 to 45 minutes for each one. So you can do 1 a day. And then for 10 straight days, have them all done. But put yourself on that kind of discipline. Organize information so you have good articles. And then go at it. And remember, try to keep everything from 7 to 10 years. Occasionally, you may have to run to an older article, but you'll do so because you'll find that was from a person that's worth reading. With that said, I'll let you go. If you have any questions, of course, we may have a pre-session before we begin just to make sure everybody's on board. And I'll let you know about that and invite you to it. Once again, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this.